What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Alan Wake 2 and really the month ahead, the month of June, because I do think this is when we finally see the game. I kind of want to talk through it, walk through it, and to see where this game could show up, and when it does show up, which, again, I believe it kind of has to, what we would see of the game and the path forward. So they keep saying, Remedy, the developers, over and over and over and over, that this game is still coming out this year. I do like the doubling down because honestly, I mean, we've gotten extremely little. They did that one little tease on Twitter a few months back saying, hey, what do you see in this picture? And, you know, I had kind of looked at that and said, oh, is this like the marketing? The marketing has started. Well, obviously not, because it's been months since they did that. So with little information there, all we've really gotten is them in kind of press statements or financial whenever they do their finances, and they say, okay, well, Alan Wake 2 is still releasing in 2023. Now, at this point, this game is a fall game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is very late in the year, like November, December. I think you're going to push it probably as far as it goes. That's fine. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. This is one of my most anticipated games of the entire year. So as long as it does come out this year, I guess delays are certainly possible. I don't really want to jinx it. So the stage to me is set in June, and I do think fully it would be at Summer Game Fest. So just to lay out the prediction right away, I do think Summer Game Fest, Jeff Keighley's show, is going to be when we get a full, I don't want to call it like a full-on reveal because it actually has gotten a reveal back in 2021, but this actually makes my point. Back in Game Awards of 2021, this game was announced. So there's already a connection with Jeff Keighley there. That to me is good enough. Now, you could say Jeff Keighley at this point of his career has a connection with probably every video game developer or publisher. That's very fair. But again, I just think because of those exterior factors, the fact that we still, beyond that reveal trailer, we have not yet seen this game. And then the game comes out, say, what do you want to do? 4 or 5, 6 months after the Summer Game Fest. Actually, 6 months would be the absolute latest because that would be like December 8th. Games normally stop coming out around December 10 through 15. I also would say, just to go off on a limb, I do think Alan Wake 2 will be like the big game at the show. So Summer Game Fest, by the way, June 8th, right? Now it's an entire month, and there's going to be, you know, days where people can actually go and play games on the show floor, right? Jeff Keighley's kind of equivalent of an E3, and he's growing it every year. But what I'm specifically talking about is on June 8th, they're doing that kickoff, right? That opening night live. I think that's what they call it for Gamescom. And that's where he'll do the 2-3 hour live stream show, and he'll, you know, announce games, show games that we already know about. I think Alan Wake, because of the size, because of the sequel status, because it's really unknown, right? We really don't know too much about it. I think that it has a good shot at being at least one of the games, maybe he's got like 2 or 3 in all, of being like the game that when you leave the Game Awards, that's the game you're talking about, right? I don't really know what other games, because you have to think about third parties. I highly doubt Microsoft or Sony or maybe even Nintendo are going to let him do gigantic things for their own companies, considering they all have their own shows. Nintendo, that's why it's a maybe, because they haven't announced anything yet. So when you look to third parties, Alan Wake is one of the first ones that jump out that you can make a statement with Alan Wake. So what would we see? Well, I think it would be time to show kind of it all off. Now, how you do that? Probably some sort of like gameplay trailer. I think that makes the most sense. You know, sometimes he'll do those deep dives. He's certainly done it before with like Call of Duty, where he'll dedicate like 6, 7, 8 minutes to actual in-game footage. But it is rare. It is rare. I guess Hellblade 2 I can think of, that's a good example a few years back. That was like 8 or 9 minute footage at the Game Awards. So it can happen. You could argue maybe it happens only with the biggest games, and Alan Wake 2 certainly could be that. So I think like a safe bet would be some sort of, you know, gameplay trailer where you're seeing cutscenes, you're getting a little bit about the story, but you're also seeing literal minute-to-minute gameplay. So we're seeing the gameplay mechanics, we're seeing some of the enemies, we're seeing the ways, you know, Alan can fight back, that kind of stuff. So I think that's probably at a minimum what we would get, and then the max, honestly, would be just this huge deep dive. They set them in level 3 of the game, and, you know, you go through it for 5 to 10 minutes. That would be kind of a dream come true. But the good news there is again, because I think this game has like a 4 to 6 month turnaround time, right? You show it in June and it comes out anywhere between, maybe even less, 3 to 6 months later. It's a really quick turnaround, and maybe they go dark a couple months in the summer, but then they're going to come right back, I imagine, and you're just going to get info. You'll get gameplay, you'll get all that stuff. So whatever's not at Summer Game Fest, to me, is just going to appear maybe in August, maybe in September, maybe in October, and then it would not stop like from that point on till the game's released. So I really feel good about this. If I was willing to bet on any big announcement at the, you could say like maybe Wonder Woman is one that I'm like very low-key rooting for, but I don't think it's going to be there. Alan Wake, I feel extremely, with no inside information, okay? So this is just my prediction, just me talking, but I feel really good that Alan Wake 2 would be there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll be streaming Summer Game Fest on the channel, so if it does happen, I'll be able to watch it live if you guys want to watch it along with me. We'll have more prediction videos and all that stuff leading into it, and I hope to see you guys there.